something I've been thinking about. A lot of people have been calling me racist, and I just can't understand that. We let people of all colors into our shop all the time.
Hi, welcome to Florida Gun Supply. What can I do for you?
Well, I just want to check out what y'all got in here. You have any of those shirts right there?
All right, well, here, try this one.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate that.
I love that. Welcome, everybody. Just a few minutes after 7 o'clock on Monday night Eastern Time. This is Andy with Florida Gun Supply on our latest episode to inspire Americans to get armed, get trained, and carry daily. Our next live episode starts right now. I don't own a gun shop. I lead a movement.
Andy Hallinan.
Andrew Hallinan, the owner of that Florida Gun Supply store.
It's not just about guns for us. It's about life and liberty. The solution to violent crime is for good guys like you and I to unite, to get armed, get trained, and carry daily.
This guy's educated. He's an educated guy. He's speaking the truth. Took so much weight off my shoulders.
We're the kind of patriots you've always wanted to be. Join us. There's a reason that we say join us every Monday night, not watch our videos or share our videos. We say join us because this is a community, a living, breathing, membership-based community that we invite you to become part of. If you feel that you value life, liberty, the pursuit of happiness, the same way that Florida Gun Supply does, you are welcome to be part of our Second Amendment movement across this country. My name's Andy with Florida Gun Supply, and I am leading a movement of like-minded American patriots across this country to do three things: get armed, get trained, and carry daily. Our goal here at Florida Gun Supply is not just to provide the tools, not just to provide the training, but to provide the attitude, the inspiration, and the leadership skills for you at home watching this video to go out and be the change that we want to see in our communities. It's not up to our elected officials to go out and change the world. It's not up to the people that we put in office to go out and make our communities a better, safer place. It is up to you and I to go out and be the change that we want to see. Now, every once in a while, it is nice to see people following up on with what they say they're going to do. Take a look. This is Donald Trump's wall building exercise here. He basically has authorized 8 separate contracts with 6 different contractors to build a variety of different walls. These are the prototypes that we are seeing that will be potentially used in the future. This is about time that we have somebody doing something that they said that they were going to do, and we are all very excited. If you are excited about the wall building prototypes, hit the thumbs up button all across social media, because I don't think that we can really, have any business getting armed, getting trained, and carrying daily until we stop the bleeding. And what I mean by that is, if we don't understand who's coming through the borders, it makes a difference in your life and in my life, because there are people that are coming through that should not be here. People who are murdering, killing, raping, and harming our communities. And we need to put a stop to that by starting to vet people. Now, we don't want to make a blatant statement that, this type of person is not allowed or that type of person is not allowed. But if a country does not have the technology that's required to properly vet people, we should not allow them in. Now, if you agree with me, hit the thumbs up button right now. One of the ways that we can stop a threat from attacking us and our families are with objects like this. This is the Taurus TCP 738. It's a .380. It holds 6 in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. Phenomenal little carry gun that you can pick up for right around $200, and the color is phenomenal as well. I'm just going to make sure it is clear. It sure is. There's no external thumb safety on a gun like this, so there's nothing that's going to prevent it from going off. There's nothing that's going to stop it from, there's no physical boundary that's going to prevent this gun from saving your life in an emergency. It is a very good carry gun that we stock here at Florida Gun Supply, and some people are like, oh, that color's cool. Some people are like, oh, colored guns stink. But at the end of the day, if you open your glove box and you look inside on a dark night, what are you going to see first? A black gun or this teal one. I'd be willing to bet that this gun would be the first one that you come to light. Now, one of the things that we do here is we do promote that businesses and people have freedom of speech in all areas of their lives. Now, that's never been more apparent than the history of Florida Gun Supply. Take a look at something that's happened at a different type of business and had a different type of response. While you're watching this video, I want you to comment below and tell me what you think about what you're seeing. Dropped it.
I specifically asked this lady to let people know when they make an appointment that they may not be seen in a timely manner.
Are you kidding me? Do you know how many people? I've got 7 rooms back there.
I made an appointment at 6:30 because I knew that
It's
being out of my
7:45,
bed an hour and 45 minutes.
We've already been working on you.
Adam
We've
Lusignan,
done a
welcome.
urine test on you. I've seen you.
You came in and said, "I'm going to check your pee."
Does that take 3 seconds, you think?
So basically, I'm gonna explain what's going on here. A woman, and by the way, Adam Lusignan, good to see you. Michelle Nieves, love to see you. John Price, again, always a pleasure. Brett McFarlane, Robert Gwynn, good to see you here, brother. And Debbie McFarlane, also a pleasure to see you. Kevlar 556 says, Facebook keeps freezing, so I hopped over on YouTube. Good, I'm glad. We haven't had some issues tonight. But so basically what's happening, this woman is at a doctor's office here in Florida, and she's complaining that she's not being seen. Watch how the doctor reacts.
45 minutes.
We've already been working on you. We've done a urine test on you. I've seen you.
You came in and said, "I'm going to check your pee."
Does that take 3 seconds, you think?
I don't know how long.
Do you want to be seen or not?
I want to go home and get in my bed.
Then fine, get the hell out. Get your money and get the hell out.
I did. But
See you later.
Comment below. Tell me what you guys think of this.
Really? If you go to Care Spot, you're waiting for 3 hours.
I don't know.
Go to the ER and wait for 9 hours.
Okay, you can get out of her
Fuck
face.
out of my office.
I will
Oh.
not complain with a better business.
Mom, I got it on video, so it doesn't matter.
Wild. What do you guys think about this? I want your responses. Comment below. Let me see what your responses. While we're looking, we've got Dave Morgana. Good to see you. Emily McFarland. Always a pleasure. Mike Radke. Good to see you. And Tim Farrell. Wow. Benjamin Threadgold. Good to see you. Don Phillips. Always a pleasure. So we're seeing this happening in the doctor's office right now. She comes in. She doesn't get what she doesn't get seen for over an hour and 15 minutes, and the doctor really rudely kicks her out. Tim Farrell says, "Take a chill pill." Robert says, "Good for the doctor." Doug Walker says, "Crazy." This is my takeaway. The doctor has every right to kick anybody out for any reason. He has every authority to say, "I don't want you in my business." But what this woman was doing was simply expressing her frustration, saying that she wanted to go home. Good on the doctor for telling her that she is free to leave, but bad on the doctor for being such a jerk. And that's the type of thing that we see all the time in the firearm industry. I mean, here in Florida Gun Supply, we have countless people that come and say, listen, in the firearm industry, I get yelled at, I get mocked, I get made fun of. It is a tough industry to be in. That's why we exist, to get people into the beginning stages of their firearm safety. The way that we see firearm training is a funnel. At the top of the funnel are new people. At the bottom of the funnel are proficient shooters, as proficient as you can be or as you desire to be. And we are really, really good at getting people through that funnel. Take a look at some of this other training that we've seen.
Now, go ahead, step back. Now put your hand on the gun and your hand on your belt buckle. Okay? Now, as you're stepping back again, draw the pistol. Step back again. Go ahead. Now drive the gun forward, but don't shoot. Okay? Dude, I wouldn't have that holster at my ass if I had room for a crowbar. Will you please go to the house and get me a holster, okay? So I
Can you believe this behavior? I'm going to play this again. If you think this is the most ruthless, ludicrous stuff, hit the thumbs up button all across social media right now. Luke Caldwell, good to see you. John Ziegler, good to see you. Take a look. We'll call you. Good to see you.
Now drive the gun forward, but don't shoot, okay?
So look at what happens there. I'm just going to pause it right here. When he pulls that holster out, the entire holster becomes unclipped from his belt, or his lack thereof. Now, clearly, this man, and guys, bear with me, Carissa is here with her newborn baby, and we love families and love that she's here, but you'll hear that baby, and it's totally, just bear with us on it. It's a beautiful baby girl, and we love having her here. But take a look at this guy. So he is clearly not dressed for success. Okay, take a look at the guy next to him on the left. He's wearing a long sleeve shirt. He's wearing the khaki kind of, multi-pocketed pants. This is great. He's definitely dressed for success here. Then you look at guy number 2. 2, he obviously did not get the memo, right? And I believe that this is actually a training problem rather than a student problem. We're training people. We are getting people to go from where they are in life to the next step, wherever that may be, right? Maybe they're a beginner, maybe they're somewhat experienced. Whatever a trainer is doing, they're actually bringing that person from the level that they're currently at to the next step. And that requires coaching, that requires training, that requires teaching. And somebody clearly did not give this guy the memo on what to wear in the training. That's why in every one of our concealed carry class follow-up emails, when you sign up, we list out at length exactly what to see. But if this guy was wearing the proper attire, this holster slip-up never would happen. Take a look
as
again.
you're stepping back again, draw the pistol. Step back again. Go ahead. Now drive the gun forward.
Holster comes out. Then, okay, now holsters come out of you know, the pants all the time, right? It's a very common thing when you're training somebody to have a slip-up like that. It's a very common thing for new shooters not to understand how to have their belt or how to have their holster. It's a very, very common thing. What is uncommon, or sorry, what is very common as well is the instructor's response. Here he goes. Take a look and tell me what you think. As you're watching this again, tell me what you think of how this is going. Jeremy says, what the heck guy needs a good belt, not a junk trainer. Dave Morgana says, I've seen this in training law enforcement officers. I've wanted to do the same thing and throw these cheap holsters in the garbage. Law enforcement should know better. Yeah, you've got an argument there, but take a look what this instructor does.
Okay. Dude, I wouldn't have that holster at my ass if I had room for a crowbar. Will you please go to the house and get me a holster?
So he makes a giant scene. He takes the holster. He throws it on the ground. Watch the gun. Watch the gun this whole time. The shooter number 2, the guy in, you know, that didn't get the memo is looking at the gun. Watch it right now.
Okay, so I don't.
Right? He's flailing that gun about, turning around, not focusing on it. And at one point, it aims directly at shooter number 2's leg. I don't know if I'm... There it is. Aims right at his leg. I mean, this is just not the way that an instructor needs to behave. An instructor needs to take the student from one level to the next level. That's what we are here to do. We are not here to be in the military, you know, and yell at you and tell you you're a maggot and things like that. There are great instructors out there that are veterans. I love it. You know, they've got a lot of great experience. But what we need to do as instructors is be patient. Is help the person understand that they need to continue down that path. Tim Farrell says, OMG. Charles says, wow. Tim Alexander says he should wear pants with a belt, not parachute pants. I agree. Deb Howard, good to see you. Adam Caldwell, love to see you on here. I agree 110%. It is important to wear a belt with that type of holster. However, I don't think that the instructor had the students back. Now, if these students signed up for a military type training academy, if they signed up for like a boot camp where they are encouraged to be yelled at and encouraged to feel this big, that's great. But most students are everyday Americans, just like you and I, who want to be able to defend their families and their communities, and who don't even know that you need to wear a proper belt when going out to be trained. That's why it's so important to be trainers that are understanding. And that's what Florida Gun Supply is designed to do, is make sure that we are being there for our customers, and we're coaching them in every step. We're trying to help them understand what types of guns are good for them, what types of, you know, pants, what types of belts, what types of holsters, what types of, you know, activities and training are good for them. Joe says, are those parachute pants? I think that they kind of are. Kevlar 556 says, was that a Serpa holster? I think that was probably a Phobos holster, which is the type of holster that I wear every day. It's a very effective holster for me. I don't like the holsters with the button in them to remove your firearm that has retention, because a lot of people get excited and they push the button, and as they push the button, their finger bounces off the button into the trigger and they shoot themselves in the leg. That's not what I would prefer. But the bottom line is, you know, we need as instructors to be there for our students and help coach them along. And I believe that this firearms instructor was just over the top. We're going to watch this one more time. Take a look.
Go ahead, step back. Now put your hand on the gun and your hand on your belt buckle. Okay? Now, as you're stepping back again, draw the pistol. Step back again. Go ahead. Now drive the gun forward, but don't shoot. Okay? Dude, I wouldn't have that holster at my ass if I had room for a crowbar. Will you please go to the house and get me a holster, okay? So I don't...
I think that the next words that he was going to say, so that I don't shoot this student. If you disagree and you agree that this is not the way that this should have been handled, hit the thumbs up button all across social media, because we try to have a better, safer community based on coaching a student, not bashing them over the head with our words. But we understand that people are everyday people and they want everyday training. And the last thing people want to do is have an aggressive, angry firearms instructor that's going to be verbally abusive. That's why every firearm trainer that Florida Gun Supply has ever had has really followed suit. And every instructor that we've ever had has really done a great job at making the student feel welcome, feel welcome and understood when they make mistakes. Now, a great gun, one of the questions I have all the time is, what sort of gun is good for a beginner shooter? And that's one of the things that we do here at Florida Gun Supply, is we get the beginners through the funnel from not knowing about guns to becoming as proficient as they want to be. This gun is clear. This is the Ruger SR22. This gun is a phenomenal little carry gun. This is the purple version, brand new in stock. You can definitely come pick one up. We've got 2 of these on the shelf right now. And the benefit of this gun is that it does have an external thumb safety, which is a very, very good indicator. Red is dead. Everybody kind of knows that. That's an important thing to know. But take a look at another feature that the safety does. When that hammer is actually back on the gun, I don't know if you can see it, but when that hammer is back on the gun, in order to decock it, you've got 2 choices. Either you can put your finger on the hammer, squeeze the trigger, obviously not that way, I'm just demonstrating, or you can also flip the safety on, and the safety will decock that firearm. That allows you to have that gun in a quote-unquote, it's not a safer environment, but just it takes an extra step and a little bit more pull of the trigger to get it to go on. Now, one of the cool safety features that the SR22 has is that it also prevents the gun from going off when the magazine is out. Magazine's out. Once again, I'm checking that chamber before I touch the trigger, but I just want to demonstrate real quick. When the magazine's out and the safety's off, the trigger doesn't do anything. It's not connected. The benefit to you, a new shooter, is that the gun cannot go off if you are cleaning it. So for instance, if you are cleaning it, the first thing you do is you take the magazine out. But if you forget that round in the chamber, it's not going to shoot you in the face if the magazine is out, if you make the most common firearm mistake there is, which is forgetting that there's a round in the chamber when you go to clean it. You have an extra safety precaution there. Diane says, looks like mine. Marissa Ayala says, that's what we use for teaching our children. It's a great gun. That's what I use for teaching mine as well. A lot of my close friends have that gun, and they love it as well. John Ziegler says, Andy, since someone asked about lessons, I give it a shout out to Henry. Henry is a phenomenal instructor. You're going to see him around here quite often. Adam Caldwell is also another instructor that exercises patience and well-being with students. Even though that he's a veteran, he really gets the concept that you need to train people as if they're real people. These are people that I definitely can vouch for as far as private lessons go. And we definitely want to give a shout out to these people because they, run their own training businesses. If you need private lessons, come see us. We'll refer you to one of those too. But Doug Walker says, do you offer other classes? The simple answer to that is absolutely. You can visit citrusccw.com to see a list of all of the other classes that we offer. One of the coolest things that we do every other week is something that we are so thankful that we have. And again, a shout out to Adam Caldwell for starting this before he left and making it so successful. Our bowling pin shoots. Take a look. The goal of bowling pin shooting is to create a fun, competitive, and practical shooting experience that will sharpen your handgun skills under pressure. But everybody can expect an event that will improve your skills in the company of fellow shooters who are supportive. We want you to find out more at www.shootingteams.com. The bowling pin shoot is an absolutely phenomenal way to get additional training in a realistic type situation. I mean, sure, you're at the range and you're not drawing from a holster because that's too much risk, but you're in a low ready position. And you are actually engaging in the bowling pin targets as quickly as you can, and you're trying to outrace the person next to you. There's cash prizes, there's ammunition prizes, and we are there to make a safe, comfortable learning environment to, again, take the shooter from wherever they are, whether it's a beginner, an intermediate, or advanced shooter, and help them get to the next level. This week, we were joined by Henry, and he helped lead the bowling pin shoot, and I was told by multiple people that it was a wonderful, wonderful experience this weekend. Michael Justice, Victor Smith, good to see you both. Brett McFarland says, I can't wait to go shoot some. Brett, you got to get out there. It's all new. It looks like a great time. David Spencer says, I'd like to give that a try. It is great. And Connie Moffat says, Andy, hello, or hello, Andy. So that's one of the things that we want to do to bring the shooter from where they're at to the next level. Again, in the shooting world, it's a funnel. You've got people at the top who are new shooters. You've got people at the bottom who are as proficient as they want to be. And our goal is to get them through that system. And Chris Taylor says, I'm working weekends. Debbie McFarland says, I can't wait to take the class. Can't wait to see you as well. Guys, one of the things that we see is that when there is success in this industry, when there is success in any industry, when there is somebody that swims up against the stream and they are successful, whenever you see somebody become successful, you see haters come up and try to hate on them. It is the standard of life, unfortunately. It has never been more apparent since the election of Donald Trump to the administration. Take a look at what the Hustler magazine has just announced.
$10 million to dish the dirt on Donald Trump. That's the offer put forward by Hustler magazine in a full-page ad. Its publisher, Ted Flint, says he wants information from anyone who can provide a smoking gun that would lead to the impeachment of the 45th.
Are you kidding me? Hustler magazine, who has no business getting involved in elections or in politics whatsoever, they are not exactly the moral authority that you need directing your life, is offering $10 million for something that is absolutely none of your business. If you find that ludicrous, hit the thumbs up button across social media, because I certainly do. This is the country, this is the day and age that you and I live in. That's why it's so important that we come together and build up our communities and build up our families and build up our friends and hold each other to a higher level of integrity. That we are not going to allow this type of behavior around us, because we do not need to be digging up dirt on people that the Hustler magazine somehow doesn't like. They have no business getting involved in these types of things, and it is just a trash campaign that we should not support. If you agree with me, hit the thumbs up button all across social media, because I know I'm right. George David says, it was great finally meeting you and your team this weekend. George, it was great having you, and I appreciate your 5-star review as well. John Ziegler says, come on out for the bowling pin shoot, guys. We're really friendly and supportive. Scott Burrell says, so glad you guys are out there. Wish I was closer to you all up here. And Brian Amos says, what a D-bag. Robert McNeely, good to see you on YouTube, as well as Michael Boyd, says Clint from Thunder Ranch. Guys, one of the things that I do respect Donald Trump for is his undying support to what he believes in. He believes in a life of integrity. He believes in a life of building up friends and family. He believes in the morals and the ethics that I am communicating to you here. Take a look at the gold star phone call that he made to a woman who was suffering the ultimate loss.
Yes, sir.
I am so sorry to hear about the whole situation. What a horrible thing, except that he's an unbelievable hero. And, all of the people that served with him are saying how incredible he was.
So Donald Trump has taken the time to call this woman who has recently lost her husband in battle. And he's saying, listen to what he says. Listen to what he says.
Yes, sir. And just an amazing guy. And
Hello, sir.
He's a great hero.
I want to thank you, President Trump. Those words are very kind. He was an amazing man, an amazing husband, and an amazing soldier. And I couldn't be more proud of my husband than I am right now, sir, to be honest with you. It's what my husband wanted to do. Yes.
I'm getting a lot of people that are saying they can't hear this video, but there's been a lot of talk in the news lately about Donald Trump and his situation with, a Gold Star woman. She's claiming that he was kind of making fun of her and things like that. And so I wanted you guys to see an opportunity to see what Donald Trump actually says, but the audio is not working right. The bottom line is he expresses not only a condolence, but he took the time to learn who she was and who he was and what his history was. And he actually talked about the things in his history that made him a great soldier. If you believe that Donald Trump did the right thing by calling this woman, this gold star wife, hit the thumbs up. We support our veterans. We support our military. And one of the things that we want to do is help train and inspire, women into the industry, especially if their husbands are serving overseas. We want to have special programs to do that as well. So I wanted to share that with you a little bit, because of what we are seeing. Kevin Greenleaf, good to see you. John Price says the Frederica Wilson is an idiot. I agree. Raul Castillo says Larry Flint put up some money for any info leading to Trump's impeachment. Benny says, Andy, you've the ultimate gun shop. Keep up the great work. And Brett McFarland says Trump is awesome. Josh Markin says hello, Andy, as well. Deb Howard flags. Ramon Rivera, thumbs up. And Kevin Greenleaf says, hey, guys, yes, he did do the right thing. I completely agree. Thumbs up for Mr. Trump. I want to show you somebody that did not do the right thing. This is not something that I would ever recommend you doing as long as you live. Take a look at what happened to these cops on a routine traffic stop. Oh, sorry, that's not the video. I am going to... this is actually a video. I'll continue to play this. The caveat is this is not the video I was looking for, but this is a guy that's walking into a convenience store, and you're going to see his sawed-off shotgun. Here we go. Here he is walking into the front of the store. Sawed-off shotgun in his hand. We cannot tell if his finger's on or off the trigger. Angry face all across social media, guys. Angry face all across social media. There. Points the gun right at the bad guy. Now, I'm going to fast forward a little bit until, basically he just gets the money and then he tucks out, right? So he gets the money. Now, watch what he's actually doing to the person next to him. He takes the products that are on the counter and he scoots them over, basically saying, you're one of us. I don't need to rob from you. Here's your money. I'm not here for your money. And by the way, guys, this guy gets away with he gets out of the store with $26. $26 is all that was in the register right now. So he takes the money, and watch who pulls in right to this parking lot right out front. This is a bad day to be a criminal. Uh-oh, guess who that is? Dun, dun, dun. Patient number 1 walks out. Guy with a sawed-off shotgun walks out, and he's laid out. Again, officer comes in. He knows that the silent alarm has been tripped. Runs outside. You can adjust your mics accordingly. And that's it. And here's the dash cam. Video of what happens as well. Officer is coming up to a silent alarm that was triggered by the bad guy. And this is what we see from the cop's point of view. David Spencer says 5-0. Brett McFarland says proud of our president. And that's all he wrote. Now, we are in a situation in that gas station there that luckily the police officer was there. I mean, if he wasn't there, it could have been a bad situation. People definitely could have gotten hurt. And if they weren't going to get hurt that time, they may have gotten hurt in the future. Now, one of the ways that we can protect ourselves while we're out at the gas station is something like this. This is a Taurus PT-111. This is one of my favorite guns. If you know anything about the PT-111, comment below why you like it. This is one of my favorite guns, and a lot of people don't like Taurus, and they say, it's clear, by the way, and they say, oh, Taurus is horrible, Taurus is horrible. Well, when Taurus first came out in the 70s and 80s, they didn't have a great reputation, but now they create a fine quality firearm with a lifetime warranty. The Taurus PT-111 G2 9mm has a couple of features that are really important. Number one, they do hold 10 rounds of 9mm. That's a phenomenal capacity, plus one in the chamber. The teardown is much like a Glock. It's a very easy teardown. I don't know if you can see in these lights how easy it is to tear it down. You just pull down on here, let the slide forward, and it will come apart. But the most fascinating thing on this gun is what the trigger does. Now, I'm going to insert a snap cap, okay? What a snap cap is a dummy round with a rubber primer that allows you to dry fire that gun without damaging your firing pin. I'm going to pop that right in the chamber so you can see it. Slide goes forward. You can tell that there's a round in the chamber because it has a chamber loaded indicator on the top that shows a little red line. But that frees me up to touch this trigger. Now, the most common thing that people talk about is how much they don't like this trigger, okay? A lot of people say this trigger is terrible because when you insert the snap cap, there's a lot of play in it, and there is some play in it because this gun is in single action mode. If it was a revolver, what that means is that the hammer would be locked back, ready to go. But because it's an automatic, there's no external hammer to show you that. The firing pin is locked back, so you have a not slower, but you have a smoother, easier trigger pull. Watch me pull the trigger, just a little bit of pressure, and again, that's a snap cap, nothing's going to happen. There, the trigger's off. Now, once that round goes off, the slide will come back, it'll reprime that firing pin, there will be all that play again, and the gun will be in single action mode again. But if that gun doesn't go off, and the slide doesn't go back and put it into battery again, that trigger resets. So now, there's no play. The benefit to you that you have a second strike capability on the Taurus PT-111 is that if that round does not go off, you have a second strike capability. In other words, you have a second opportunity or a third opportunity to pull that trigger and have that round go off. You do not, on a Glock or a Smith & Wesson, you then have to cycle the action on the gun and you have to, rack the slide back and let the slide go forward, removing the round that's in the chamber and getting the round out that isn't good and then putting it in with a new one. On the Taurus PT-111, you just pull the trigger again, which potentially could be a life-saving feature for you. You add that to, you add on top of it the external thumb safety, the trigger safety, and the lockdown mechanism locks down the entire gun in case it gets stolen, and that's locked down while you're not home. Nobody can access that firearm and use that gun without the key. You have a phenomenal firearm at a phenomenal price, and it also comes in stainless steel versions as well, for those of you who like the cosmetic looks as well. Those are really, really awesome firearms. Terry King says, I have that gun, also okay for carry gun, but not so good for target shooting. I like the gun for all around target shooting and carrying. I mean, if you're shooting bowling pins and that sort of thing, again, you have that second strike capability that may save you a second or two if your gun does not go off. Raul Castillo says, Trump, they know the risks, they know what they sign up for, but still volunteer, put their lives on the line. I agree. Every veteran does that, and that's why we support our military 110%. Bill Connor says, I've got the Taurus PT-809 full size. Mickey Pantoja says, it's a fast reset. And over on YouTube, Neil Morrison says, so much better than the Airhead Congresswoman. I agree. All right, continuing on here, guys. One of the things that we need to do is be out there in the bowling pin, be out there in our classes. But another thing that we need to do is simulate for real life training. That's why we have our $22,000 use of force firearm training simulator to help people from beginning to end to become as proficient as they'd like to be. Take a look at our simulator.
You're leaving work on just a normal day, and as you walk to your car, a thug with a knife appears trying to kidnap you. What would you do? Florida Gun Supply's $22,000 use of force firearm training simulator can help you get the skills you need to defend yourself in a real life scenario. Our simulator sessions are normally $70 per person, but if you sign up with a friend right now, we'll give you both a 50% discount on your simulator session. So share this video and then sign up with a friend at www.trainwithafriend.com.
The simulator is a remarkable way to get your concealed carry pistol basically take your training to the next level. There are features that we can also purchase for training. For instance, Robert and Brian Sharp, they've both got Brian Sharp's got the PT-809C, and Robert has the PT-111. But with those two guns, because they have the double single action trigger, you can actually put a laser snap cap in it, a snap cap that operates a laser when the primer is hit, and it will also help you get on target, and it will also make the simulator react to it as well, so you can bring your own firearm to that type of training if you have a double action trigger. That's one of the reasons that we love our training simulator. That's one of the reasons that we do what we do to get people from the beginning of the funnel to as proficient of a shooter as they would like to be. John Price says SIG P220. John, I actually do carry a SIG as a pocket gun. I love the SIG, but the problem with the SIG is the price point. It's smooth, it's accurate, it's wonderful, but it is expensive. Either way, if you support concealed carry, hit the thumbs up button right now because I want to show you where it happens to save a life. Take a look. South Haven officer on, nope, that's not this one. I'm getting totally distracted. I've just dropped my notes here. This is where a gun store owner, not a gun store owner, a store owner is being robbed. You see the guy enter the store up at the top of the frame, take a look, and the store owner comes out. Store owner's behind the counter up front, and the robber comes in the back. Take a look at the robber's awesome skills. Take a look at the robber's awesome technique here. This is the one-handed sideways walking shoot. The one-handed sideways walking shoot as he comes in. Take a look. Then he's got the one-handed duck and hide behind the chips move. And then he continues around, and now he's getting into a two-handed, almost a Weaver stance, and fires a few rounds nonchalantly and aiming. You know, take a look at round number 1. Oh, here he is. He's got his thumb behind the slide. That's going to leave a mark. Fires one round, hits the potato chips, fire another round, and then we have the slinking out, exhausted and shot in the face method as well. If you find that hilarious, hit the thumbs up button right now, because I am here to tell you that criminals don't train. There are 2 fundamental facts about criminals that you need to understand. Number 1, they're cowards. They don't want to have a firefight. They may pop off a couple of rounds, but it's training that will outdo criminals every time. It is training that will overcome criminals every time. And number 2, we want to make sure that we are always prepared. So that's why our message is get armed, get trained, and carry daily. Now, there have been all sorts of talk on social media about Florida Gun Supply and how awful we are and things like that by people who don't like us. There have been all sorts of people that attack us and what we do. This has never been more apparent than a YouTube battle that we've been watching. It is absolutely hilarious with a guy that has been calling us out for quite some time. I am very excited to finally debut my response. Take a look. Oh, you know what? I'm going to show the video. First of all, I'm going to show the video. I'm going to show the video where the guy is attacking. Take a look at the video of the guy's attacking.
Taking a break from advertising my free concealed carry classes to clear up some very important rumors that I've been hearing.
So I'm basically clearing up some rumors. I'm going to fast forward to the rumor that he's yelling at me for.
790.335. It says,
all right, so basically here
believes that there's a registration in the state of Florida.
Information per so this is where we're talking about the registration.
Purged from the system entirely. The information about that particular firearm that you purchased is never transmitted to any.
All right, it's hard. I don't know the video well enough to skip to the point. But basically, there is no gun registration. When you buy a gun from a dealer like me, we do a background check, but your information's purged from the system entirely. Let me play this video for you where this guy on YouTube is calling me out. Take a look.
All right, folks. Another quick rant here. There's this gentleman.
Quick rant. This is great.
I'll just use his YouTube channel name, Florida Gun Supply, that says the government or the state of Florida keeps no record of your concealed carry or the weapons that you purchase. Okay? Every one of us, when we buy a weapon,
I hate that
has
word.
to fill out a 4473.
This is the form that he's talking about. Oh, it's upside down. This is the 4473. It is a background check on your gun. This is exactly what he's talking about. Continue.
No way around it. Okay? Now this 4473 gets added, you know, with all the others for that year, gets stuck in a box, gets stuck in a warehouse that the gun supplier has to keep. If he does not keep them, he loses his license. If he does not require you to fill one out, he loses his license.
Okay, so first of all, I need to jump in there. Okay, you hear what he said? If I don't keep these forms, I lose my licenses, is the claim that he's making. That's not true. If I don't keep these records, I go to jail. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Carry on.
That gun. Why do I need to fill out a 4473? Why do you need warehouse space to keep them?
I don't.
Yes, the state can go back and look at them. Yes, the federal government can go back and look at them. I'm calling you out, brother. You want to shut me up? This is what you got to do, Holmes. Quit taking a 4473, okay, and burn all that you have. You tell me there's no gun registration.
no state of Florida.
I love this guy. I love this guy.
Records. Okay.
I love him.
Why did they take my fingerprints for my concealed carry?
Okay. Great question. Finally, a question that I can answer.
the-
Why did they take your fingerprints for concealed carry? There's so much here. The reason that they take your fingerprints when you get your license to carry is simple. They're doing an extensive background check. They're taking your fingerprints. They're sending them to the FBI, and the FBI is looking in their database and saying, hey, do I have an unsolved crime in Wisconsin in 1978 that matches these fingerprints? Or do I not? If the answer is no, they destroy your fingerprints. They don't keep a record of your fingerprints. Your records are not on file. It is so important that you understand that your records are not on file with the concealed carry permit. It is also important to understand what this form does when you buy a gun. What this form is a background check. There is no gun registration. All it is a background check that says, can you own a gun? Also, the information about the gun that you are purchasing sits right here on the back of this form, filled out by us. And yes, this gets tucked away in a file, not a warehouse, but a file for the next 20 years. When you leave the store, your gun is not entered into any governmental database. The information that is written right here is never entered, oops, not right there, right here, is never entered into any computerized database. So if it lives on this piece of paper and only on this piece of paper, how is it possible that the United States government has a copy of what you own? If this information about the gun is never entered into any database, any computerized system whatsoever, how is it possible that the government knows that you own a gun, Mr. Conspiracy Theorist? Dylan Wilcox says, doesn't that allow the government to put a tracker on my gun? No, because Dylan, again, your gun information is written right here on a physical piece of paper. Now, I'm not being sarcastic, but the NSA has not developed a technique just yet that allows them to take data that's on a physical piece of paper that's in my filing cabinet and put it into a database. If they did, I wouldn't have so many dang Jedi forms to enter into the system after every class manually. I would find a way to do that myself. That's kind of an inside joke with all of us. David Spencer says, in Florida, at least when I got my concealed carry permit, you checked by the FBI, Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and your local law enforcement. Exactly right. Bill Connor says, I'm surprised with all his knowledge that he isn't wearing an aluminum foil hat so they can't read his mind. Let's see what else he says.
State of Florida in an office building is that application for your concealed carry. There is a record of it. Okay?
That's lie.
You're going to talk schmack, okay? At least tell the people the truth.
Smack.
Hey, you choose, you are responsible. I choose, therefore I am responsible. Let's not BS each other about it.
Is that the whole thing? Yeah, that's it. So, obviously, in his very professional video, much more professional than I do, he forgot about Florida law.
Florida Gun Supply.
I want to show you Florida law that's magical.
To own a firearm.
This is an important thing. Bear with me. It's a little bit long. This is important. Bear with me.
You're on some sort of government list or registration. I'm going to read you Florida Statute 790.335.
This is the most beautiful language I've ever read in any law anywhere. Listen closely. Hit the thumbs up button while this is being read and comment your thoughts as it's being read.
It says, a list, record, or registry of legally owned firearms or law-abiding firearm owners is not a law enforcement tool and can become an instrument for profiling, harassing, or abusing law-abiding citizens based on their choice to own a firearm and exercise their Second Amendment right to keep and bear arms as guaranteed under the United States Constitution. Further, such a list, record, or registry has the potential to fall into the wrong hands and become a shopping list for thieves.
Was the music really necessary?
Well, yeah, it adds to the dramatic effect.
Whatever.
Deb, I love Deb. Always the comic relief of the videos. I love her to death. So yes, I mean, we're seeing, Lindsay says, why don't you also film your video in a tool shed? Adam Caldwell says, something I wonder is how do they know when our permits are up for renewal? That's a great question. The Florida Department of Agriculture is allowed to create a list per Florida law, but Florida law goes into explicit detail that should the federal government ever ask for a list of lawful concealed carry holders, Florida will begin the process of secession. So in other words, FDLE, not FDLE, the Florida Department of Agriculture does have a list of concealed carry permit holders so that when you are about to expire, you are then sent a packet for renewal if you have your address up to date. About 6 months before you are able to renew, then they will send you that information, at which point you'll renew. But the big deal is that that information can never leave the Florida Department of Agriculture or Consumer Services. It cannot be passed to FDLE. It cannot be passed to law enforcement, as that chapter just said, which is a beautiful chapter in Florida law as well. Michael Boyd says, what's your thought on the Yankee Marshal and the gun collective round table thing? That's probably something I should know about, but I have no idea what you're talking about. Send me a link and I will talk about it next show. Now, Bill Connor says, how to keep going, keep up the good work and spreading knowledge. You guys rock all the way up here in Ohio as well. We are missing the Gabriel boys, the Novotny boys rather. And Carissa says, because Andy is not cool enough to have his own tool shed. I bet Robert will let me borrow his tool shed. And Alan Oakley says, wow, finally a comedy hour before 8 p.m. that is not on Comedy Central. I love it as well. Guys, this is the section of the class, or of the class. It's like I'm teaching. I'm on a roll tonight. This is the section of the night where we are free to ask any questions that we want. While we do that, I would like to show you a couple of different guns that I absolutely love as concealed carrier. One of the guns that we absolutely love, oh yes, thank you, third week in a row. One of the guns that we absolutely loved is the Ruger LC9S. Now, Ruger created the LC9, which had a double action only trigger, right? So the trigger was very long and hard. And Ruger actually does a really great job. I'm going to make sure this is clear before anybody yells at me. Ruger does a really great job of, following their customers' advice and listening to what their customers say and understanding what their customers want. So with all the complaints about the trigger, they went back to the drawing board and they created a Striker Fire Ruger LC9. It has a couple of features for you. It's hard for me to tell. I'm going to have to change that background eventually as I'm doing more gun reviews, but it's got the trigger lock safety system there. The teardown is a little bit complicated, but it's not too bad on this gun, but it has a couple of features that I want you guys to know about. Number one, if you turn that safety on, you can have it on or you can have it off. Up to you, because that is a thumb safety. So if you buy the Ruger LC9S Pro, which is the version without the safety, without the external thumb safety, you don't have a choice. You can't add that safety on. Personally, I like to have an external thumb safety on my handgun so that when I'm playing around with my 5-year-old boy and I'm running around and throwing him on the floor, I have that added peace of mind that the gun's not going to go off. But if I'm here at my store, that safety is off because it's a little bit more of a high-risk scenario than if I'm just playing with my boy. Number two, another feature that's really excellent on the Ruger LC9S is the magazine. It holds 7+1, but what it does is it actually stops the gun from going off. Again, there's no round in the chamber there, so I can touch the trigger, but the magazine's empty. Now you can see that the trigger does not work. When the magazine is loaded, when the magazine is inserted, the trigger does have that action. It's a phenomenal system in case you ever have that stupid mistake that we all make. It's a stupid mistake that a lot of people make, rather, that you have a round in the chamber while you're cleaning the gun. Or if that bad guy's getting that gun from you in a fight, you drop that magazine and he can't do anything with that gun. This is a phenomenal little carry gun out there, the Ruger LC9S. It is for sale, on the Florida Gun Supply website, and it does happen to come in purple for you ladies out there. Wesley Knight says, thank you for keeping everyone informed. Keep up the good work. George Colella, I never know how to pronounce your last name. It is a pleasure and an honor to have you on board, sir. Ron Spencer says, I was going to get the LC9. I love the blue one, Andy. Hint, hint. We'll get one in for you. Ricky Gator Jefferson says, when my concealed carry license expires, do I have to have the background check again? Thanks, Rick. No. When your concealed carry permit expires, just walk into the DMV, and it's like a $70 fee. Ron Spencer, good to see you back in here. And we had somebody, DeAndre Washington. I love this guy. DeAndre Washington said, how do you find that many pennies to pay a fine? One of my good friends, Corey, works at Insight Credit Union where I bank. And I walked in and I said, Corey, I have a fine at the city. Not a fine, but I have to pay this fee that I don't agree with at the city. I want to order 26,000 pennies. And she looked at me and she said, back up. I walked in and said, I need 26,000 pennies. And she looked at me and said, you're going to pay something, aren't you? And that's exactly what it is. You actually have to order these pennies from the bank, and there is a fee, a surcharge associated with it. But to me, it was worth that fee to get my point across. And the city really, they had a great sense of humor about it. I brought the pennies packaged in boxes, in rolls. It was more about the idea of the protest than it was about making it hard on people, because it's not the person that has to count the money's problem that I am not getting the Freedom of Information request fulfilled. That's not the person counting the money who should suffer. It's more in line with what was going on. John Price says, what ammo do you prefer for stopping power? You know, a lot of people have these debates. Oh, you know, it's the 9mm. That's the only one you can use. The 45 or the 40. It's the only one you can use. Honestly, guys, a 22 has more than enough stopping power, especially when you're dealing with a Ruger SR22 that has 10 rounds in the magazine, 1 in the chamber. It's not going to let you down unless you have low-quality ammunition. The low-quality ammunition is not a thing that you want. Plus, you want to have the high-velocity rounds to make sure that the guns cycle. But as far as the personal preference goes as what type of ammunition I like Hornady Critical Defense myself. Thank you. I'm totally going to forget. Brian Ammon says, would the snap laser work with a SIG P250? There are definitely lasers that would work with a SIG P250. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play another video for you. I'm going to give another promo for the bowling pin. The next bowling pin shoot is November 4th. I want you guys there at 9 a.m. But as I play that, I'm going to go pick the winner of the Taurus PT111 that we've been trying to pick for the last 3 weeks, but have had technical difficulties every time. I'm going to hit the bowling pin, take a look at the promo, and thumbs up right now for free guns. The goal of bowling pin shooting is to create a fun, competitive, and practical shooting experience that will sharpen your handgun skills under pressure. But everybody can expect an event that will improve your skills in the company of fellow shooters who are supportive. We want you to find out more at www.shootingteams.com. Dun dun dun! The giveaway has completed. We just picked a winner. And the winner is Justice Davis. I don't know if that's a guy's name or a girl's name. Justice Davis. I'm going to see if we can't find it on Facebook real quick, just using the email address. Justice is a gal. This is great, and all I've got is the information. I've got no more information. It would be super cool. It looks like Justice lives in Gainesville. So if you know a Justice Davis, make sure you let her know to watch this video, because she has just won the Taurus PT111 gun. Now, don't be disappointed if you haven't won the gun. We have free gun giveaways every single month. It'll only taken us 3 weeks to do this gun giveaway because of the technical difficulties. But Justice Davis, let us know. We'll have this gun waiting for you when you come down. You'll have to pass a background check, obviously. And if you don't want the gun, you can trade it out for something else. Mickey Puntum, I can't even say that, says, what's the price on the Ruger SR22? The MSRP is $430. A Tiger. I think he was trying to say Ruger, but his phone auto-corrected. That's the only thing I can say. Mickey, if you wanted a Tiger, I don't know how much they cost. You'll have to call a zoo. But if you want a Ruger, I can help you out with that. Everybody say congratulations to... oh, I forgot the name already. See, I have the attention span of a minnow. What is it? Justice Davis? What was it? Justice Davis. It should be on the widget itself. And we are giving away another free gun in just a few days here as well. We've got some comments here. Mark Bensett says giveaway today. So giveaway today. No, unfortunately we can't do that. September was a slow month with Hurricane Irma. We don't have the ability to do that. We're seeing a lot of congratulations come through. Ron Moore says, have one of those. Love it. Carried every day. Bo Powell says, I've been waiting to win one. I think everybody in this video have been. But I do have some stickers to give away tonight. I have some stickers to give away. Take a look at our simulator, and we will pick some sticker winners.
You're leaving work on just a normal day, and as you walk to your car, a thug with a knife appears trying to kidnap you. What would you do? Florida Gun Supply's $22,000 use of force firearm training simulator can help you get the skills you need to defend yourself in a real-life scenario. Our simulator sessions are normally $70 per person, but if you sign up with a friend right now, we'll give you both a 50% discount on your simulator session. So share this video and then sign up with a friend at www.trainwithafriend.com.
www.trainwithafriend.com, one of the best offers that we've ever seen. Carissa is currently writing down names of people that have won things. This goes to Sean Russell, SHAWNRUSSELL. You've just won a sticker courtesy of Florida Gun Supply. Send us your address. We will ship that out in the mail. We have Summer Smith. Boom. Sticker for Summer Smith. Ding, 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 ding. Summer Smith, that's your sticker right there. Brian Ammons. Sticker. That's your sticker. All right, continuing on here. Brian Sharp says, we should give a sticker to the fat guy that called you out. No, Brian. He didn't really say that anyway. All right, Robert McNeely, you've just won a sticker courtesy of Florida Gun Supply. Send us a message. We're getting more stickers. Drum roll for thumbs up for stickers, guys. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up for stickers. Chris Taylor, you've just won a sticker courtesy of Florida Gun Supply. It says, get armed, get trained, carry daily. Long live the Republic. I came up with that, along with a group of awesome patriots back in the day. All right, Kevin Greenleaf, you've just won a sticker courtesy of Florida Gun Supply. Congratulations on your big sticker. He does a lot for us too. He's got a group, guys. Black Rifle Nation, guys, go join it. It's a great little group to talk about different guns. And the last sticker goes to Kelly Anderson. This is your last sticker. Both my vehicles are sporting your sticker, says Brett McFarland. Great job. Everyone says John Sweet. And Brent Crawford says, long live the Republic. Ron Spencer says, big and sticker. And Matt Manuel says, first time. Awesome. Guys, this is the portion of the show where we say good night, peace out, and that we... Oh, Michelle Nieves says, how do we enter for your guns? How do we enter for your guns? It's pretty simple, Michelle. All you've got to do to enter to win our gun is go to FloridaGunSupply.com. You will see a button that says free guns. You enter the free gun giveaway, your name, email address, how you heard about us, and all that good stuff, and you will be entered to win. You will also become part of our Patriots list here at Florida Gun Supply, where we try to get you from the top of the funnel to where you want to be. This is Andy with Florida Gun Supply. I thank you so much for joining us again. Choose integrity, choose forgiveness, and choose this beautiful country by getting armed, getting trained, carrying daily. And our tagline is long live the Republic. Thank you for joining. We will see you next Monday night, which will be our last Monday night that we will entertain a 7 o'clock hour. We'll be moving to 9 o'clock the following week. Next Monday night is 7 o'clock. The following Monday is 9 o'clock p.m. Eastern time, because I cannot get my crap together myself. That was cool. Did you see what I did there? That was cool. And we are muted. That was a great show.
The interview?
No.
Something places.
I watch stupid movies.
Dave Skyline, he goes to North Korea to interview Kim Jong-un. But his whole thing that he does at the beginning of each show is he goes like this. His hand under his chin and then goes out like that. That's what you reminded me of. No, but
That was a very long story.
You've never seen it.
I saw Mary Lou Caldwell commenting "Love your honesty," and I just got excited because I love her. And she got it.
Oh, you're honest?
Yeah. And then somebody else called me a fish.
A fish?
It's so funny. I mean, honestly, I don't understand how people like Summer Smith can be out there all like, "Oh, I want a sticker."
Sounds like a fake name.
Summer Smith sounds like a fake name. That's got to be a fake name.
I feel like I always assume everybody's a fake name.
Yeah, I agree. I think that these are all haters.
These are not real people.
I think that these are all people that hate me.
It's Facebook has just created a bunch of fake profiles.
Your fake
to make
profile
you
like John
feel good
Price.
about yourself.
John Price doesn't have. He's never had a profile picture.
I know.
Imagine John Price might be Eddie Peters. Do you ever think about that? He's in every show.
I think John.
Do you see
Price,
those 4 dots right there? That's an Eddie Peters signature.
I think you're delusional.
I'm not so sure. Summer Smith says, ha ha ha, Lindsay. Lindsay Bell. What kind of a last name is ding, 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 ding?
Do you know
Tyler.
that for years I've thought, or not for years, but for weeks now, I thought you've been spelling her name wrong, her last name.
Oh, because
Your
of the
girlfriend?
Facebook? Oh, yeah.
No, I thought there were just 2 N's in her name and that you spelt it wrong and that you were a bad boyfriend.
I have to, I forgot to give a shout out this week, but I've got to give a shout out to my girlfriend because She's put up a lot with me this week.
And
oh
she's
my
prettier than
gosh,
you.
I have had a bad week. Scott Burrell. What kind of name is Burrell?
Burrell?
Marissa
Burrell.
Ayala.
Burrell.
Mayala. Charles Christians. Huh? We all think you're fake.
Charles T. Christensen.
You know who was the real star of the show tonight?
The
Your
baby?
daughter. The baby.
She's so loud.
Totally all over the place. Terry King, I need a fake name.
Terry King, that is a fake name. Like, that is
I don't even like
straight
that
up
guy.
a fake
I don't even
name.
like that guy. Can you believe a girl won the gun tonight? I can't believe it was a girl that won a gun. What is she going to do with a gun?
She
Make
should
a
get
sandwich?
Mace. She should get Mace instead.
Yes.
She obviously
Obviously, the guy will take the gun away from her. Yes. No, that's a really good point.
I'm really happy that a girl won the gun. I feel like we give away things to dudes all
Not
the
only was
time.
it a girl that won the gun, but she was a black girl, and she's taking our class. She's a totally cool girl. Totally cool girl. All right, you suckers. Got you again with the open mic. Get armed, get trained, carry daily. Long live the Republic. Choose integrity and forgiveness.